in here with not a lot of problems. If you look at the eye like a wagon wheel, the pupil is the hub, and there's thousands of spokes that come out and emanate out from the pupil all the way around the eye. Now, if you want to see what the lymph system looks like in an eye, there's nothing any worse than a dairy farmer. So this is a dairy farmer from Upper New York that has an ice cream manufacturing plant. He also was 83 when I took his picture, but you can see the difference. Look at that thick, white, milky substance on top of his blue fibers. You can't even see his blue fibers because of all that white, thick, milky stuff. I just showed you that stuff when it turns brown in a blue eye. That's the lymph system. When you've got a lymph system this bad, you're in trouble. Now let's go back and look at this one, Chris. Notice those fibers are nice and straight. But take a look at her eyes. Look at those fibers are nice and curly. The straighter the fiber, the healthier the cell. The fibers represent the cells of the body. Whenever these fibers develop patterns, lesions, lacunas, crypts, there's all names for them. Each one of these is a specific weakness in the human body. This case that you're looking at was at age 30, a cervical cancer case, age 32, a thyroid cancer case, and came to me at age 34 with pancreatic cancer. Took me 11 months, but I saved this case. This case made the Sally Raphael show. It made Fox News, local newspapers. This was degenerative pancreatic cancer. She ate an apple. She pooped an apple. But look at the difference between the fibers. You see these blue fibers here, nice and straight. 83 years old, very few problems. She's 90-some now, eating raw foods. This lady's still alive here that had the 3 cancers, but and her daughter's eyes look just like hers. And I sit her daughter down and I said, listen, honey, you're in trouble here. Well, it went right over her head, age 20, cervical cancer. Now, this cancer case was very difficult. I write about her in my books, the healing crisis, the tumors that popped out all over, the teeth that were loose. I mean, tremendous, tremendous work. She wasn't digesting anything anymore, and I did not use digestive enzymes. Here's another blue eye. Looks almost brown. I want to see if I can find this other brown eye I have here. Yeah. Let's look at this brown eye, Chris, because this brown eye, in a brown eye, the only way you can see the lymph system is shades of brown. Notice the different shades of brown. You have light brown and you have dark brown. The darker brown is the lymph system in a brown-eyed person and where they have their problems. This is a lighter brown color eye. So I just wanted to give them a little heads up on that. Appreciate you coming in there, and they know we're okay, right, with the time?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So anyway, we were able to swing that in there. Thank you, Chris, so much for coming in and helping me do that. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. So these are my little toys, my little tools, because when you come in, I give everybody a little education. Some lady complained the other day that I took her time up by showing her how to read the eye. I only take a few minutes, and I was showing her so she could understand how to read her eye. Ungrateful. I run my appointments a certain way, and if people don't like them, please don't come. Because I'm an educator. I teach you. And that's the way I always will be. I find it important. I want to learn, and I find it essential. Some people just are strange out there. But I hope you enjoyed that. And that answers your question about brown and blue eyes. Absolutely. This is a question here. Who is this? Let's see here. two Weiss. See, I have lupus, MS, Sjogren's, fibromyalgia, to name a few. You have an autoimmune problem, and there's just absolutely nothing that's out there for you. Boy, how would you like to hear a video like that? What's wrong with this case, guys? Help me out here. We got a blood problem here? No. What kind of problem do we got here? We got a lymphatic problem. You're systemically backed up. You're feeling it all through you, honey. So you really got to move your lymph. See if you have any orange in your eye, because, you know, cases like yours generally have a lot of sulfur in there, which gives a lot of fungus, which exacerbates the acids, of course, with the uric acid and all the other acids. But then it also just makes the lymph system even more sluggish. You'll find in RA cases a lot of those high sulfur cases. This locks your lymph right in there. And hurt baby hurt. So I know you're hurting here, but you know, a simple case where your adrenals are down, your kidneys are down, and you got to start filtering your lymph system. Got a case yesterday where a lady just a half a dropper of one lymphatic formula swells her feet. Is that individual not moving her lymph system at all? Is that severe kidney filtration issues? When you take a little bit of a lymph formula and your feet swell from that, that's serious. So really got to move those lymphs. And moving those lymphs is a kidney adrenal gland issue. Remember I said that sometimes you got to go real slow, because if you give them too many lymphatic formulas, their lymph nodes will swell and things, because their door's closed. And the door, I find this over and over and over again, the door is the kidneys. And the adrenals control that door. So go down that line what we're talking about. Hit your kidneys, hit your adrenals, hit the lymph system, and clean all these acids out. And funny, all this lupus, all this fibromyalgia, all the MS will disappear. If not, you'll be trapped in this autoimmune syndrome ridiculousness and suffer the rest of your life. That's crazy. Owen, this is probably a while since I've got into these. I found these sitting around, so I apologize. You know, I'm just doing my best to get to you. But this is Owen again here about Gabriel Cousins and the fruitarian, and I think I went over this about the depletion of the kids and stuff. Bull crap. I got so many fruitarian babies out there that are sitting there exuding vibrancy and health. That is bull crap. I don't care what study that was. I've seen these fruitarian babies are killer babies, man. I mean, Jennifer's got one. She's not total fruitarian, but she's close. And I mean, she's 7 months old and she's going to be walking any time. She's pulled herself up a month ago and standing. I mean, it's unreal, unreal. So, you know, after a while you get frustrated with the ignorance out there. Yes, we have lousy fruit, so we all have to move to Mexico or somewhere where we got some good fruit. Too bad all these countries that have all the fruit are always in turmoil. There's always so much of all the other stuff. JG, the doc, referring to burdock. You know, I've got a good Amish friend, John Kime. Don Kime's an old Amish healer. I mean, great soul, man. Can't pinch an inch on him. He's 80-some. I mean, this guy's unreal. We were at another friend of mine's, Willie Krishner, and we were at his house up in Shipshewana, and there were a bunch of Amish healers, and we were talking around. So we all were going to go down and do something. And, of course, those of us that drive cars, so it takes everybody. And John said, no, I'll meet you there. I said, well, it's, 10 miles down the way. Or oh, no, I'll meet you there. Here he takes off. He's 80. So here he takes off walking through all these fields. Cold out, it's in the fall. Takes off hiking down the road there. This guy is something else. But famous for burns. And burdock leaves was his big deal. I was up there in Ohio when he was in Ohio. And I think it was Ashland, Ohio he was. And he showed me the difference between two children, an Amish boy and a non-Amish boy, had been playing with fire and gasoline, and they both got severely burned on their arms. And the Amish boy went to John, and the non-Amish boy went to the hospital. And I saw those two boys there, and the one boy that went to the hospital was mutated pretty bad in the tissues, and John's boy, I couldn't even see a scar. Amazing, but that's nature. I would have used aloe baths. We should have aloe baths for burn patients. But the burdock leaves are incredible, although I didn't see it in your burn salve, John, but definitely burdock leaves, and eat them, absolutely. The burdock is an edible plant and a very good, powerful plant for blood, liver, good stuff. Good stuff. Let me see here. This is going to be a real long series of videos, so I apologize for that, but I just got to try. Look at that big, thick pile. I just got to try to get caught up here because this is a lot of stuff here. This is a case addicted to pain meds. You know, when I worked in the hospitals, it was common to have an elderly person stop you and say, "Hey, doc, I got this pain in my back. Can you give me a prescription for pain meds?" I mean, there's a sad state of affairs going on. And we're talking about, I mean, this country needs to become more like Portugal, that love their people and help their people instead of imprison them. How many people were in jail for drugs? We just don't get it. We still wear suits and ties. We still don't get it. It's about brotherly love and helping each other and understanding the human condition and the limitations having a human body puts on a soul. Help each other. But these pharmaceuticals, now we're seeing the power of what these things can do to hurt you. I took a lie detector test once for some employment issues, and he said, "You failed the test." I asked you, "Did you do drugs?" And you failed the test. And I says, "I don't do any drugs." At least then. And he said, "Well, no, this is saying that you're lying to me." And I had to think. I said, "Well, you know what? Ask it in another way, because I consider pharmaceuticals as drugs." And he asked it another way, and of course, then I passed. What a shame that we're in here. Detoxification is the only answer to all these things, because the residues from all these things, including nicotines and all these things, build up in the human body, creating this need to go back. It's almost like stimulation innervation. So we find that addictive need of tissue. And so detoxification has always been the answer to all these questions, including addictions. And so all these detox tanks should be truly detox tanks, where you're really getting into the lymph system. You're cleaning up the liver, you're cleaning up the lungs, you're cleaning up all these tissues, you're moving those lymphs. And that is the greatest way to deal with all of this. All the prisons should have raw foods. I mean, we should seek the health of people. Health of body, mind, and soul. Wow, this page is full of them.